What would you do if the father of your child looked straight through you like you'd never existed? Rain hammers the glass towers of Gangnam, each drop a question that won't be answered. A black woman stands at the entrance of Kong Group headquarters, soaked through, her nurse's bag clutched against her chest. Security won't let her in. She's been standing there for 20 minutes, and she's not leaving. Inside, a man in a charcoal suit watches her on the security monitors. Silver hair catches the blue light. A scar runs down his right cheek, another across his right temple. "Sir, should we call the police?" Kong Jae-ho, 48 years old, head of the most feared organization in Seoul, stares at the woman's face on the screen. Her eyes burn with something that makes his temple throb. He doesn't know why. "Let her in." The elevator hums. Hannah Johnson presses her trembling hands together. She's 26, but tonight she feels ancient. 6 years of searching ages you like that. The doors open. The man in the marble lobby looks nothing like the person she remembers. He used to smile. He used to look at me like I mattered. Now there's only frost where warmth lived, a voice like gravel when he speaks. "You have 2 minutes." Hannah's breath stutters. For 1 second, she sees it, the angle of his jaw, the way he tilts his head when he's thinking. Then it vanishes behind ice. "My son disappeared 6 years ago in a fire. He's all I have left. The police gave up, but someone said you find people who are lost." His expression doesn't shift. "I don't help strangers run fundraising scams." This isn't about money. It's always about money. She pulls a photograph from her bag. A little boy with bright eyes and a crescent-shaped scar on his wrist. Her hands shake so badly the picture blurs. "His name is Min Jae. He was 3 when I lost him. He'd be 6 now." Jae-ho glances at the photo. Every muscle in his body locks. That scar, the exact shape and placement he's been searching for. The description in the file he touches every single day. But his face remains stone. "I can't help you." "Please, you're my last hope." "Then you have no hope." His voice is final. "Leave." Hannah doesn't move. Rain drums against the floor-to-ceiling windows. "Do you really not remember me?" He stares. Something flickers behind his eyes. Confusion, maybe pain, then disappears. Should I? The truth is too big, too broken, too impossible to say. To a man who looks at her like she's nobody. "You held my hand while our son was born. You promised we'd raise him together." "No," she whispers. "I guess not." She turns toward the elevator, her reflection ghostly in the polished marble. Jae-ho watches her go. His hand rises to his temple. The scar there pulses with each heartbeat. He has no idea why. Jae-ho's office smells like leather and the whiskey he never drinks. Oh Sung-woo, 35 and loyal to a fault, sets a file on the desk. The woman, Hannah Johnson, 26, part-time nurse in the Busan clinics, clean record, but sir... He hesitates. "Say it." Sung-woo opens the file. Inside is a medical sketch, a child's wrist with a distinctive crescent scar. "Her description matches your search exactly. Same scar pattern, same age, same timeline." Jae-ho goes completely still. 6 years. 6 years he's been hunting for his son. The boy who vanished the night his wife died. The night the warehouse exploded. The night half his memory burned away. The doctors said the baby didn't survive, but he never saw proof, never stopped looking. Coincidence, but his voice wavers. "Sir, the statistical probability means nothing." His hand trembles. Thousands of children have scars. Seung-woo slides another page forward, Hana's security photo. Her current ID says Johnson, but there's a note. Former name, Hana James. Changed 6 years ago. Jae-ho studies her face. Something tugs at the edges of his mind. The curve of her cheekbone, the way light catches in her eyes. Have I seen this face before? The thought dissolves before it forms. James, he says quietly. That was 6 years ago, the night of the fire. Yes, sir. The name means nothing, but his temple throbs like it's trying to tell him something his brain refuses to hear. Full background check, every detail. He pauses. And if she contacts us again, bring her straight to me. After Seung-woo leaves, Jae-ho unlocks his desk drawer. Inside, photos of his late wife, medical records, and at the very bottom, a single ultrasound image. Baby Kang. Estimated due date, November 2019. He touches the image with one finger, then locks it away. Hana is 2 blocks away when tires screech through the rain. A small white dog bolts into the street. The car hits before anyone can react. The sound makes her stomach turn, but she's already running. She drops to her knees in the wet street, doesn't feel the cold or the blood. She wraps the animal in her raincoat. Gauze from her nurse's bag goes straight to the wound. Her hands move with practiced precision. Someone yells for a vet. Someone else starts filming. Then a voice cuts through everything. Move. Jae-ho appears with 2 men in dark suits. He stares at his dog, then at Hana, kneeling in the downpour with blood on her hands and absolute focus on her face. Sir, we'll take care. Wait. He crouches beside her, close enough to see the rain in her hair, the way her fingers work without hesitation. She ties a bandage using a technique that's half battlefield medicine, half surgical theater. The kind of skill that comes from stitching wounds in places where screaming brings trouble. His breath catches. That movement, the angle of the scissors, the way she folds gauze into perfect triangles. I know this. Where did you learn that? His voice comes out rough. She glances up. Rain streams between them. For 1 second, their eyes lock, and he sees something he can't name. I was a nursing intern, years ago. Where? Why does it matter? Answer me. She finishes the bandage. Seoul Medical, 7 years back. Emergency ward, night shifts. The words hit like a fist. 7 years ago, he brought his wounded men to Seoul Medical's night shift. Cash payments, no questions. There was an intern there, young, black, fearless. She never flinched at blood or violence. She tied bandages in perfect triangles. She looked at me like I was more than what I'd become. He stares at Hana, at her hand still steady on the dog's chest, at the way rain catches in her curls. What was your name then? A pause. Hana James. Pain explodes in his temple, sharp, blinding. He grips his head where the surgical scar lives. Hana's eyes widen. Are you all right? Fine. The lie barely makes it out. The dog whimpers. She strokes its head gently. He'll survive. Just needs stitches and observation. Jae-ho stands abruptly. Seung-woo, take him to our veterinarian. He looks down at Hana. And drive Ms. Johnson home. I can walk. That wasn't a request. In the car, Seung-woo watches her through the rearview mirror. The privacy screen is down. You're braver than most people who cross his path. I've dealt with worse. I doubt that. He pauses. Do you know what he is? Kang Jae-ho, head of Kang Group. She meets his eyes in the mirror. And the other things people whisper about. Seungwoo's grip tightens on the wheel. Then you know to be careful. I'm always careful. She stares out at the blurred city lights. He truly doesn't remember, does he? Every muscle in Seungwoo's body goes taut. Remember what? The night he saved my life, the night I saved his. Her voice drops. The night our son was born. The car swerves slightly before Seungwoo corrects it. You need to tell him, Hana whispers. He deserves the truth. Ma'am, I can't. Yes, you can. You were there. I saw you pull me from the fire. Silence except for rain drumming the roof. Finally, the explosion damaged his brain. He lost all memory of that week, parts of the month before. Doctors said it might return. His voice cracks. It hasn't. How much is gone? Everything, the warehouse, the fire, you. He swallows hard. All of it. Hana pulls a silver pendant from beneath her shirt, a tiny wave on a delicate chain. He gave me this the night before the fire. Said waves always find their way back to shore. Seungwoo stares at it in the mirror. He's seen that pendant's twin. In Jaeho's locked drawer. Dear God. The car stops outside her hotel. Seungwoo turns in his seat, really looks at her for the first time. Can I ask you something? Hana nods, exhausted. Why did you come back? After 6 years, after believing your son was dead, what made you think he might still be alive? Her hands tighten around her bag. 3 months ago, I saw a boy in a market, just a glimpse. He had the same scar on his wrist. I followed him for 3 blocks before I lost him in the crowd. Tears spill over. I searched every market in Busan for weeks. Then someone mentioned that children from the underground fires sometimes end up in Seoul orphanages. So I came here. I've been searching every facility, every record. And you ended up at his door. I didn't know it was him at first. I just knew Kang Group had connections, resources. I was desperate. She laughs bitterly. I never imagined he'd be the same man who... She stops. Seungwoo's expression softens with something like grief. He was different back then, before the fire, before he lost everything. He smiled sometimes. He talked about leaving that world, starting over somewhere quiet. With me, Hana whispers. He talked about leaving with me. Yes. What happened to him? Beyond the memory loss? Seungwoo looks away. When he woke up and couldn't remember, something inside him died. He became colder, more ruthless, like he was trying to fill the emptiness with power. He meets her eyes again. But watching him with you today, when you saved his dog, I saw a flicker of who he used to be, just for a moment. Hana wipes her eyes. Do you think he can find his way back? I don't know, but if anyone can reach him, it's you. She opens the car door, then pauses. Seungwoo, thank you for saving us both that night, for trying to protect my son all these years. His voice is rough. I should have done more, should have found a way to tell you sooner. You did what you thought was right. That has to count for something. After she leaves, Seungwoo sits in the car, watching rain stream down the windshield. He pulls out his phone, stares at Jaeho's number. He needs to know. He deserves to know. But the call never gets made. Not yet. Not until he's certain it won't destroy what little stability Jaeho has left. CTA 2, Direct Ask. Have you ever stood in front of someone who used to know your name, who used to hold your hand and seen nothing but emptiness looking back? If this story is already in your chest, subscribe. This is only the beginning. Interlude. The night between searches, 20 to 22 Wow. That night, Hana can't sleep. Her hotel room is small, cheap. The neon sign outside casting red and blue shadows across the walls. She sits by the window, staring at the photograph of Min Jae she's carried for 6 years. His smile is frozen at age 3. She doesn't know what he looks like now. Doesn't know if he still has that little dimple in his left cheek. If his laugh still sounds like wind chimes. Does he remember me? Does he cry for me at night? Her phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. The dog will be fine, thank you. KJH short, formal. But he took the time to tell her. She types back, I'm glad, he's lucky to have you. 3 dots appear, disappear, appear again. Then, perhaps we're both searching for the same thing. Her heart pounds. Perhaps we are. No response after that. But she stares at the screen for an hour, wondering what he almost said. Across the city, Jae-ho stands in his penthouse, looking out at the rain-soaked skyline. The dog sleeps peacefully on an expensive bed, professionally bandaged. He touches his temple. The headache hasn't stopped since she left. On his desk, the file Sung-woo prepared. Hana Johnson, 26, nurse, searching for a son named Min Jae. He opens his locked drawer, pulls out the ultrasound image, the wave pendant, a faded hospital bracelet that says Kang Baby Boy. None of it makes sense, but somehow it all feels connected. He picks up his phone, types, perhaps we're both searching for the same thing. Her response comes immediately. Perhaps we are. He stares at those 3 words. His finger hovers over the call button. What would he even say? I think we knew each other. I think you matter to me. I think I'm remembering things I shouldn't be able to remember. He sets the phone down, opens his laptop instead, types her name into private databases most people don't know exist. The search results make his blood run cold. Hana James, nurse intern, disappeared November 2019. Last seen, Warehouse District, Incheon. Presumed dead. Presumed dead. She was supposed to be dead. Someone falsified records to make her disappear. Someone wanted her erased. His hands shake as he digs deeper. Hospital records, police reports, all of them altered. All of them pointing to one conclusion. Someone very powerful wanted Hana James to vanish without a trace. And 6 years later, she walked back into his life with a story about a missing son. His missing son. Jae-ho reaches for his phone again. This time he calls. Sir? Sung-woo answers on the first ring. I need everything, every record from November 2019, every person who had access to those Warehouse District files, every name connected to Hana James. A long pause. Sir, are you sure you want to? Now. Yes, sir. He hangs up, stares at the rain. What did I forget? Who am I forgetting? The headache pulses harder, like his brain is trying to break through a wall it built to protect itself. He closes his eyes, and for just a moment he sees it. A woman's hand in his, blood on both their palms. A voice, soft and breaking. You must promise me you'll live, even if you forget everything else. Promise me. I promise. His eyes snap open. His heart races. That wasn't a dream. That was a memory, a real memory, of her. 2 days later, her phone rings. I'll help you find your son. Hana nearly drops it. Why? Because your description matches someone I've been searching for. A pause. Tomorrow, 9 a.m., I'll send a car. The orphanage sits on Seoul's outskirts. Gray walls, high fences, full of children who've learned hope is dangerous. The director, Mrs. Park, is 50-something and exhausted. She pulls a worn file when Jae-ho requests it. Min Jae, yes, arrived 6 years ago as an infant. Found near a warehouse fire, no ID, no family claims. Hana's voice breaks. No one claimed him because they told me he died. Mrs. Park's face softens. I'm so sorry. He was adopted 8 months ago. Good family, thoroughly vetted. Where? Jae-ho's tone could cut glass. Jeju Island, but he ran away 3 weeks back. They reported it. We're searching, but our resources are inadequate. Show me everything you have. Mrs. Park retrieves a faded folder. Inside, medical records, intake forms, one photograph. She pins it to the corkboard. A 3-year-old boy. Uncertain smile, bright eyes. And on his small wrist, that crescent scar. Hana's legs give out. Jae-ho catches her arm instinctively. Then he sees the photo, and his hand falls away. That's my son. Hana's whisper fills the room. Jae-ho can't breathe. The boy's face, that scar, the name, Min Jae, his father's name. The name he'd chosen before his world exploded. This isn't possible. What's wrong? Hana stares at him. His skin has gone gray. That name, Min Jae. His voice is strangled. That's what I was going to call my son, the child my wife carried when she died. The air turns to ice. Mrs. Park looks between them. I don't understand. Neither do they. Somewhere deeper in the building, a child practices piano. The melody is heartbreakingly slow. We've been searching for the same child. Hana's words shake. Both of us. Jae-ho's breathing turns ragged. My wife was 8 months pregnant when the warehouse exploded. I was the intern on duty that night. Tears streamed down Hana's face. When the ambulance brought her in, when her heart stopped, when I couldn't, she chokes. I tried everything. I'm so sorry. He steps backward like she's struck him. You were there? I held compressions for 40 minutes. We couldn't save her. They stand frozen, staring at a photograph of a boy neither has held in 6 years. 2 broken parents, 1 missing child, 1 impossible truth. Mrs. Park clears her throat gently. I should give you both some privacy. I'll be in my office if you need anything. After she leaves, the silence is suffocating. Hana sinks into a chair, trembling. I think about her every day. Your wife, Mrs. Kang. She was so brave. Even when we knew it was too late, she kept asking if the baby was safe. She made me promise. Her voice breaks. She made me promise that if anything happened to her, someone would tell you that she loved you, that she never regretted anything. Jae-ho's knees buckle. He grabs the edge of the table to steady himself. What else did she say? That you were a good man underneath everything, that you deserved happiness. Hana wipes her eyes. And that the baby, your son, should grow up knowing his father wasn't a monster, just someone who made hard choices in an impossible world. A sound escapes him, something between a sob and a gasp. I didn't know her long, Hana continues softly. Just those final minutes. But in those minutes, all she cared about was protecting her family. Protecting you. She looks up at him with red-rimmed eyes. She didn't deserve what happened. No. His voice is barely audible. She didn't. He walks to the window, stares out at the gray courtyard where children play. They look so small from up here, so fragile. After the explosion, when I woke up in the hospital, they told me she was gone, that the baby didn't make it. His reflection in the glass looks haunted. I should have felt something, grief, rage, anything. But there was just emptiness, like someone had scooped out everything inside me and left a shell. That's trauma, Hannah says gently. Your brain was protecting you from more pain than you could handle. Or maybe I'm just broken. You're not broken, you're hurt. There's a difference. He turns to face her. How do you do that? Do what? Look at me like I'm worth saving. Her eyes hold his. Because I've seen who you really are, underneath all the armor and ice. I've seen it. When? 7 years ago. Every time you brought your injured men to the hospital, you stayed with them, held their hands when they were scared. You didn't have to do that, but you did. She stands, walks closer. And the night of the fire, even though you don't remember, you stayed with me through the worst pain of my life. You didn't run. You didn't hide. You held my hand and told me everything would be okay. His temple throbs viciously. I don't remember. I know, but I remember enough for both of us. They're standing close now, close enough that he can see the gold flecks in her dark eyes, close enough to feel the heat radiating from her skin. What if we can't find him? The question escapes before he can stop it. What if he's gone forever? Then we keep looking until forever ends. Her voice is steel wrapped in silk. Because that's what parents do. We don't give up. Ever. Something shifts in his chest. Something that feels almost like hope. Mrs. Park spreads more files across the table. Adoption authorizations, transfer documents, legal paperwork. Hannah flips through with shaking hands, then stops cold. At the bottom of the final form, a signature in black ink, Kang Jae-ho. The floor tilts. You signed this. Rage and grief crack her voice. You authorized his adoption. You gave my son away. Jae-ho rips the file from her grip. All color drains from his face. I never signed this. I've never seen these documents. Your signature is right there. I don't remember. Don't you understand? The words tear out of him. I don't remember that night or the week before or anything. I woke up with my skull fractured and my wife dead and my child gone and no memory of any of it. Complete silence. Mrs. Park backs toward the door. Hannah stares at him, really sees him. The scar on his temple. Not just a scar, surgical marks. The kind left after severe brain trauma. The explosion, she breathes, destroyed part of my memory. Traumatic amnesia, they called it. Some might return, most won't. His voice empties. I don't remember the fire. Don't remember my wife's last words. Don't remember. Me. She finishes it. You don't remember me at all. Their eyes meet. Something raw and desperate breaks through his ice. If you'd been part of my life, if we'd meant something to each other, I couldn't forget. I wouldn't. But even as he says it, doubt flickers across his face. Hannah pulls the wave pendant out. You gave me this 7 years ago. After the 3rd time, I stitched up your men without asking questions. You said I was the only person who looked at you and saw something worth saving. Jae-ho stares at the pendant. In his desk drawer sits its twin. He's kept it for 6 years without knowing why. I don't remember. The admission sounds like death. I know. She tucks it away. But you still signed those papers. Memory or not, your name put my son with strangers. Then let me fix it, whatever it costs. You can't fix memory. Her voice breaks. And you can't fix that our son is out there alone because of choices neither of us remembers making. Our son. The words hang between them like a prayer neither knows how to finish. They find Sung-woo in an Itaewon tea house. Private room, paper walls, jasmine steam rising between secrets. He looks like he hasn't slept since that rainy night. Jae-ho sits across from him, Hana at his side, united in this single purpose. Tell me about the fire. Jae-ho's voice is controlled, dangerous. Sung-woo's hands shake around his cup. Sir, everything, now. Long silence. Then the dam breaks. I wasn't working for you yet. Section Chief Han controlled me back then. He ordered me to the warehouse that night. His voice fractures. There was a woman there who shouldn't have been, in labor, active labor during a gang war. Hana leans forward. What woman? Seung-woo meets her eyes. You. The oxygen leaves the room. Han wanted you gone. You'd seen too much, knew too many faces. He told me to extract you, get you out of Seoul permanently. His words tumble faster. But the fire started before I could move you. Someone torched the warehouse to destroy evidence. They didn't know you were still inside. The fire was intentional? Jae-ho's voice drops to lethal quiet. Yes, to eliminate witnesses and records. Seung-woo's face crumples. I found you in a storage room, Miss Hana, barely conscious. You kept saying his name, Kang Jae-ho, over and over, begging me to find him, tell him the baby was safe, tell him you. He stops. Tell him what? Hana whispers. That you loved him. Tears stream down her face. I delivered your son myself, Seung-woo continues. In a car 3 blocks from the flames. You were hemorrhaging. I thought you'd die. He looks at Jae-ho. Then I went back for you, sir. You were buried under debris, not breathing. I did CPR for 4 minutes before your heart restarted. Jae-ho touches his chest. There's a scar there he's never understood. When you woke up in the hospital, you remembered nothing. Not the warehouse, not the fire, not her. Seung-woo's voice breaks completely. Han was still alive, still dangerous. If he knew the baby survived, he'd have used him as leverage. So I hid the child, falsified your wife's death records to say the baby died too, made it so no one would search. Including me, Hana says. I told you your son died in the fire. I'm sorry. I thought it was the only way to keep him alive. Jae-ho grips the table. His vision blurs. Then, a flash, violent and sudden, smoke choking everything, blood on his hands, a small hand gripping his. Don't leave me. Never, I promise. If you forget, if you can't remember, live anyway, please. He gasps like he's drowning. Hana stares at him, recognition flooding her face. You were there. You held my hand through the contractions. You promised we'd protect him together. I don't, but his hand is on his temple, and the scar burns like it's tearing open. I can't. Seung-woo pulls folded paper from his jacket. Ancient, stained with smoke. Her name back then wasn't Johnson, it was Hannah James. You knew her 6 months before the fire. You were... He hesitates. Say it. In love with her. Jae-ho takes the paper with trembling hands. A birth certificate. Unofficial. Unregistered. Mother, Hannah James. Father, Kang Jae-ho. Child, Kang Min-jae. Date, November 15th, 2019. The day his wife died. The day his son was born. The same day. My wife, he whispers. She wasn't carrying my biological child? No, sir, she acted as surrogate. It was arranged secretly. Hannah's voice barely exists. She knew about us. She insisted on it. Mrs. Kang couldn't have children of her own. When she learned about you and the baby, she offered. She wanted him to be happy. Sungwoo's eyes fill. She died bringing your son into the world because she loved him that much. Jae-ho's world shatters and rebuilds in the same breath. His wife, his kind, loyal wife who sacrificed everything. A child who was his and Hana's. 6 years of searching for a ghost who was real all along. Where is he? Jae-ho's voice is barely human. Where is Min-jae right now? Sungwoo's face goes gray. I placed him carefully, a good family, but when he ran away, 3 weeks ago. Find him. It's not a request. I don't care what it costs or who you threaten. Find our son. Our son? Hana echoes quietly. Jae-ho looks at her. Our son. It's the first time he's said it aloud. But finding Min-jae isn't simple. Days pass, then a week. Every lead dissolves. Every rumor proves false. The Jeju family searched everywhere. Police have nothing. Hana survives on coffee and desperation in a cheap hotel near his office. Jae-ho works connections he swore he'd never use again. Calls in favors that come with blood prices. Every hour that passes feels like failure carving itself deeper onto bones. On day 5, he shows up at her hotel at 2 in the morning. She answers the door in an old t-shirt, eyes hollow from lack of sleep. Did you find something? No, He stops, doesn't know how to finish. Can I come in? She steps aside. The room is tiny, impersonal. A photograph of Min-jae sits on the nightstand next to her phone, which is plugged in and clearly never turned off. You're waiting for him to call, Jae-ho says quietly. I gave my number to every orphanage, every shelter, every police station within 200 miles. Her voice is raw. Just in case he's looking for me too. Jae-ho sinks into the single chair. He looks exhausted, defeated. I've put 50 people on this, used every resource I have. It's like he vanished into smoke. Maybe he doesn't want to be found. He's 6 years old. Old enough to be scared, old enough to hide. She sits on the edge of the bed, pulls her knees to her chest. What if we find him and he doesn't remember me? What if 6 years is too long? Then we'll help him remember. How? You can't even remember me. The words land like a punch. She didn't mean them cruelly, but truth doesn't need cruelty to cut. I'm sorry, she says immediately. That wasn't fair. No, you're right. He leans forward, elbows on knees. I've been getting flashes, fragments, your voice, the way you used to hum while you worked. The night before the fire, he stops. What about it? We were in a park, late. You were telling me about your plans after graduation. You wanted to work with children in underserved areas. His eyes are distant, struggling to grasp something just out of reach. I told you I wanted to leave, all of it. The organization, the violence, everything. I wanted to start over, somewhere quiet. With you, Hana's breath catches. You remember that? Pieces. It's like watching a movie through frosted glass. I can see shapes, but not details. What else? He closes his eyes. You laughed. I remember your laugh. And you said something about me being terrible at being normal. That I'd probably try to organize crime in a small farming village just out of habit. A broken laugh escapes her. That sounds like something I'd say. You kissed me under a streetlight, and you tasted like the strawberry ice cream we bought from a cart. His eyes open, haunted. Then you told me you were pregnant. The room goes completely still. You remember? Hana's voice barely exists. I remember your face, the way you looked terrified and hopeful at the same time. I remember thinking my entire world just changed. His voice cracks. And I remember promising you that everything would be okay, that I'd protect you both no matter what. Tears pour down her face. You did. You tried. The fire wasn't your fault. Wasn't it? I brought you into that world, made you a target by association. I chose to be with you, knowing what you were, knowing the risks. Why? The question is agonized. Why would you choose someone like me? She wipes her eyes, meets his gaze directly. Because underneath everything you were kind. Because you cared about your people. Because when you looked at me, I felt like I mattered. Like I was more than invisible. Her voice strengthens. And because you were trying to be better, trying to find a way out, that counted for everything. Jae-ho stands abruptly, walks to the window. I failed you, failed our son. Let him disappear into a system that lost him. You didn't let anything happen. Someone stole your memory, stole your choices. She stands too, approaches slowly. But you're here now, fighting for him. That's what matters. Is it enough? It has to be. He turns to face her. They're close again. Too close. The air between them feels electric. I don't know how to do this, he admits. Be a father. Be someone worthy of. He stops. Worthy of what? You. The word hangs between them like a lit match near gasoline. Hana reaches up slowly, carefully, like approaching something wild. Her hand touches his temple where the scar lives. He flinches but doesn't pull away. Does it hurt? She whispers. Always. I'm sorry. Don't be. Pain means I survived. He covers her hand with his. You saved me that night. Sung-woo told me. You stopped the bleeding, kept pressure on the wound until the ambulance came. You would have done the same. Would I? I don't know who I was back then. You were someone worth saving. You still are. Something breaks in his eyes. Before either of them can think, he pulls her close. Not a kiss, just holding. Desperate and aching and too many years too late. She wraps her arms around him and feels him shaking. We'll find him, she says into his chest. I promise. We'll find our son. He holds her tighter, this woman who he forgot and who never forgot him, and lets himself believe it might be true. On day 8, something in her breaks. She stands outside Kang Group headquarters in the rain. Same spot as before, same rain. But this time, she's leaving for good. Jae-ho finds her there. Shirt sleeves, no umbrella, soaked through. What are you doing? Saying goodbye. We haven't found him. I know, but I can't stay in your world anymore. Can't look at you every day, knowing you'll never remember what we were. Hana, you built an empire on fear. Her voice shatters. Signed papers you don't remember. Forgot the woman who saved your life. Forgot your own child. I didn't choose amnesia. But you chose everything else. The violence, the power, the life that made hiding our son necessary. Tears mix with rain. I loved you so much, I gave up my future, my career, everything. I was ready to run away with you. Then the fire came and took it all. If I'd known, if I'd remembered, I would have left it all behind. But you didn't know, and now our son is lost because of the world you created. Let me fix it. You can't fix memory. She's sobbing. And even if we find him, you're still the same man. Still cold, still dangerous. Where would a 6-year-old fit in your life? In your locked offices and armed security and blood-soaked empire? He steps closer. Rain pours between them. I'm changing, I am. Change doesn't erase what you've done, but it can build something new. She looks at him, at the desperation in his eyes, the rain in his silver hair. For one moment, she sees who he used to be. Then a man in a dark suit appears at the door. Sir, urgent situation. The moment dies. I have to go, Jae-ho says. I know. I'll call if we hear anything. I know, she turns away. Hana. She stops but doesn't turn. If I'd met you in another life, if I'd been someone different, I would have loved you properly. I know it. She looks back. Her eyes hold 6 years of grief. You did love me properly, once, before you forgot how. Jae-ho stands alone in the downpour. His men wait inside with urgent business. He ignores them all. He presses his palm to his temple, hard, like he can force the memories through damaged tissue. Somewhere in the wreckage of his mind, something stirs. A woman's laugh, light and free. Jasmine in a hospital corridor. A promise made in fire and blood. Live, even if you can't remember. Live. I'm trying, he whispers to the rain. I'm trying to be worth remembering. 3 days later, Mrs. Choi appears at Jae-ho's office door. 60 years old, quiet, loyal, carrying a bundle wrapped in faded cloth. Sir, I need to tell you about the night Mrs. Kang died. They gather in his private conference room. Jae-ho, Hana, Mrs. Choi, Sung-woo. The housekeeper's hands shake as she unwraps the bundle. Inside, a baby blanket, a hospital bracelet, a photograph of a newborn. I was there that night. The midwife, not at the hospital, in the warehouse. Hana's breath stops. You delivered. Your son, yes. Mrs. Choi's eyes are gentle. You were so brave, never screamed once, though I know the pain was terrible. You kept calling for him, for Jae-ho. Jae-ho leans forward. Why were you there? Mrs. Kang sent me. She knew you were meeting Miss Hana that night. Knew the baby was coming soon. She asked me to be ready in case something went wrong. She knew everything, Hana breathes. She planned it all. Wanted the child safe. Wanted you safe. Mrs. Choi looks at Jae-ho. You stayed through the birth, held Miss Hana's hand, promised to protect them both. Then the explosion. I told Sung-woo to get them out. The memory surfaces like breaking through ice. I remember now, I gave the order. Mrs. Choi nods. But the blast threw you into a concrete wall. By the time they pulled you out, the memory was gone. You didn't remember giving the order. Didn't remember her. So Sung-woo did the only thing that made sense. He hid the boy to keep him safe from your enemies. Where is he? Hana barely gets the words out. Where's my son? Mrs. Choi produces an envelope. I've been watching over him in secret. The family who adopted him were kind but didn't understand him. When he ran away, I found him. I've kept him safe, waiting for the right moment. A photograph slides out. 6 years old. Bright eyes that are Jae-ho's, a smile that's Hana's. The crescent scar visible on his thin wrist. Min-jae. The DNA test takes 2 days. Jae-ho doesn't sleep. He paces his office, touching the photograph, pressing his temple scar like a talisman. When Sung-woo delivers the results, his voice is thick. Confirmed match, he's yours, both of yours. Jae-ho's legs give out. He sits heavily, head in hands, and for the first time in 6 years, lets himself break completely. They drive to Busan that night. Jae-ho, Hana, Mrs. Choi, no bodyguards, no security detail, just 3 people in a simple car. Hana can't stop shaking. What if he doesn't remember me? He asks about his mama every day, Mrs. Choi says softly. Jae-ho says nothing, just drives faster. The house is small and warm, light glowing in the windows. Mrs. Choi leads them through. He's in the back room. Be gentle. He's been through so much. Hana walks down the hall like she's moving through water. The door is open. A boy sits on a small bed, reading a picture book. Pajamas slightly too big. Hair needing a cut. And on his wrist, that crescent scar. Min-jae? He looks up. Those dark, searching eyes meet hers. Nothing. Then recognition crashes through. Mama, she crosses the room in 3 steps, falls to her knees, pulls him into her arms. The sound that comes out is half laugh, half sob, all relief. I'm here, baby. I'm so sorry. I looked everywhere. Min-jae buries his face in her shoulder. His small body trembles. I looked for you too. I know you did. He pulls back, wiping his eyes, then sees Jae-ho in the doorway, goes very still. Who's that? Hana smooths his hair with shaking hands. This is your father. My real father. Yes. Min-jae slides off the bed, approaches slowly, carefully. He's too thin, too cautious. A child who's learned not to trust easily. Jae-ho kneels, bringing himself eye level. His hands shake so badly, he presses them against his thighs. Hello, Min-jae. The boy studies him, takes in the silver hair, the scars, the expensive clothes now wrinkled from hours in the car. Why didn't you come before? The question is a blade. I was searching for you every single day since you disappeared. I'm sorry it took so long. Did you forget me? God. Part of my memory is gone from an accident. He touches his temple gently. I couldn't remember everything. But I never stopped looking. Even when I didn't know why I was searching, something told me to keep going. Min-jae reaches out. His small hand hovers near Jae-ho's temple scar. Does it hurt? Sometimes. Mama says scars mean you survived something scary. Jae-ho's eyes burn. Your mama is right. Min-jae shows his wrist. I have one too. That crescent. Perfect and small. I know. I don't remember how I got it. You were born during a fire, Hana says gently. Something fell. Your father caught it before it could hurt you, but you got a small cut. Min-jae looks at Jae-ho with new understanding. You saved me? I tried my best. That's enough. Mama says trying counts. Then, without warning, Min-jae steps forward and wraps his arms around Jae-ho's neck. The man who built an empire on control, who hasn't cried in a decade, who forgot what tenderness felt like, shatters. He pulls his son close and weeps into his hair. 6 years of searching, 6 years of emptiness, 6 years of a wound he couldn't name, all released. Hana kneels beside them. Her hand finds Jae-ho's shoulder. He reaches up, covers it with his own. 3 pieces of a broken family, learning how to fit together again. Later, Min-jae falls asleep between them on the bed, his small hand holding Hana's, his head resting against Jae-ho's arm. What happens now? Hana whispers. Jae-ho stares at his sleeping son. I can't bring him into that world, not as it is. Then change it. It's not simple. Yes, it is. Her voice is fierce. You spent 6 years searching. Now you have him. What are you willing to sacrifice to keep him? Long silence. Then, everything. I'd give up everything. Then do it. They won't let me just walk away. Then don't walk, run. Her eyes burn. Take your son and build something new. something clean, something he can be proud of. Jae-ho touches Min-jae's soft hair. So fragile, so impossibly precious. I don't know how to be good anymore. Then we'll learn together. He looks at her. You'd stay? After everything? He's my son. You're his father. We're connected now, whether we like it or not. Is that the only reason? Silence. Then, no. Hana, not yet. Not until you're certain who you want to be. Not until you've left that life completely. He nods slowly, understands. They sit in comfortable silence, watching their son breathe softly, and for the first time in 6 years, Jae-ho doesn't feel hollow inside. 1 year later. The house is full of light and children's laughter. It's not the cold mansion Jae-ho once owned. Not the cramped apartment where Hana barely survived. It's something entirely new, built from the ground up in a quiet Busan neighborhood. The sign above the door reads House of Hope in Korean and English both. A sanctuary for children caught in violence. For kids who lost parents to organized crime. For families torn apart by the same world Jae-ho once ruled. Hana runs the medical wing. She's a fully licensed nurse now, respected and trusted. She treats injuries, administers care, teaches children that healing is possible. Jae-ho handles security and funding. He's dismantled his criminal network piece by piece, sold off the dangerous operations, gone legitimate. Some former associates call him a traitor. Others call his transformation inspirational. He doesn't care what they say anymore. He's too busy learning how to be a father. Today they're planting sunflowers in the back garden. Min-jae kneels in the dirt, small hands patting soil over seeds the way Hana taught him. He's 7 now, still small but healthy. He smiles often these days. Father, look, am I doing it right? Jae-ho glances over from where he's helping 3 other children build a birdhouse. His expensive suits are long gone, replaced by jeans and simple shirts. His silver hair is slightly messy. There's color in his face now. He looks alive. Perfect, son. He walks over and kneels beside Min-jae. His watch will get dirty. He doesn't care about things like that anymore. Hana watches from the porch steps, wearing a yellow sundress, her hair loose. The wave pendant catches sunlight at her throat. Jae-ho catches her eye. You should help. I'm supervising. You supervised the birdhouse, and the vegetable garden, and the fence project. Min-jae giggles. Mama doesn't like getting her hands dirty. That is accurate, Hana admits with a laugh. But she comes down anyway, settles in the grass beside them, close enough that her shoulder touches Jae-ho's. He glances at her, really looks. The afternoon sun catches gold in her dark skin. Her hands are gentle as she shows Min-jae how to water the seeds without drowning them. What? She asks, feeling his stare. I'm remembering. Remembering what? The first time I saw you, hospital corridor 7 years ago. You wore scrubs 3 sizes too big. Had dirt on your cheek from the garden outside the emergency room. You were the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. Her breath catches. You remember that? Not everything, but pieces are coming back. Your laugh, the way you hummed while you worked, the night I gave you that pendant. He touches the wave at her throat gently. It's returning, slowly. Tears well in her eyes. I thought you never would. So did I. Min-jae looks up at both of them. Why is Mama crying? Happy tears, sweetheart. Oh, he considers this with a child's seriousness. Are you and Father going to get married? The question lands like a small bomb. Hana and Jae-ho stare at each other. Hana starts. We're taking our time, Jae-ho finishes carefully. That means yes, Min-jae announces with complete confidence. Mrs. Choi says when grown-ups say taking our time, they really mean yes, but they're too scared to admit it. Hana laughs through her tears. Mrs. Choi is too observant. Jae-ho reaches across the dirt and takes Hana's hand, soil and all. I know I'm not who I was. I know I've made terrible choices that hurt people, hurt you. He pauses, choosing words carefully. But I'm trying to become someone our son can admire. Someone you could, his voice catches, someone you could love again. Jae-ho, she squeezes his hand. I never stopped loving you. Even when I couldn't remember you, especially then. He pulls her closer, and Min-jae squeals as they accidentally knock over the watering can. They're laughing, all three of them, tangled together in dirt and sunlight, and the kind of joy that comes from finding each other after being lost so long. That evening, after the children sleep and the house grows quiet, Hana and Jae-ho stand together on the porch. City lights twinkle in the distance. Warm breeze carries jasmine from the garden. Do you miss it? She asks. The power you had before? No. He doesn't hesitate. I miss who I thought I had to be, but that person was empty inside. He gestures at the house, the garden, the room where Min-jae sleeps peacefully. This is real. This matters. It won't be easy, building a life outside that world. Nothing worthwhile ever is. She leans her head on his shoulder. What would your wife think about all this? He's quiet for a long moment. She'd be proud. She gave her life so our son could have his. The least I can do is make sure he has a life worth living. She must have loved you deeply. She did, and I loved her. He turns to face Hana fully. But I was in love with you. I am in love with you. Even when my mind couldn't remember, my heart recognized you. The way you moved, the way you looked at me. Some part of me always knew. Fresh tears spill down Hana's cheeks. That's the most romantic thing anyone's ever said to me. It's just the truth. You saved my life twice, once in that warehouse, and again when you came searching for our son. You brought me back to myself. We saved each other. Yes, he agrees softly. We did. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out something small, the mate to her wave pendant. The one he's carried for 6 years without understanding why. I don't have a ring yet. I know we should wait. Do this properly with time and planning. He pauses. But I've already lost 6 years. I don't want to waste another single day. Hana's hand rises to cover her mouth. Marry me, Jae-ho says. Not because of Min-jae, though I'm grateful every day he brought us back together. Marry me because I love you. Because you're the bravest person I've ever known. Because you looked at someone everyone else called a monster and saw a man worth saving. Because even when I forgot you completely, you never gave up on finding our son, on finding me. Yes. The word comes out as barely a whisper. Yes, always yes. He slides his pendant chain through hers so they hang together, 2 waves finally returning to the same shore. Then he kisses her, soft and gentle and full of promises they'll actually keep this time. Behind them, unnoticed, Min-jae peeks through his bedroom window. He sees his parents holding each other like they're afraid to let go, and a smile spreads across his small face. He returns to bed, safe and loved and finally home. if this story touched something in your heart, if you believe love can survive even the darkest nights and the deepest forgetting, share it with someone who needs hope tonight. Subscribe to hear more stories that prove broken things can heal. Even people, even us. And tell me in the comments, do you believe some loves are strong enough to survive anything? Even amnesia? Even years of searching in the dark? Thank you for spending this hour with Hana, Jae-ho, and Min-jae. Their story reminds us that family isn't just about remembering the past. It's about choosing each other every single day, no matter how hard it gets. This has been a story of love, memory, loss, and the motivational power of never giving up on the people who matter most. Until our next story together, remember that waves always find their way back to shore.